Hi guys, today's video is going to be about giving up on your manifestation, which obviously is not a topic I normally discuss. It's not something I'd ever normally encourage, but it's just a discussion today to give you guys some food for thought, and maybe you want to consider it or just, think about it if you have been having doubts or questioning, or your life has been changing a lot recently, and especially mentally and emotionally. Perhaps, the route and path you want to take, the goals you have will change with that, including people, and that's okay. So that's why I want to discuss with you guys today when and how to know if maybe you should give up on your manifestation. And it's nothing to do with ability to manifest. You'll just never get it. That's not that's not at all what I'm trying to say, because anything is always possible. So always remember that, regardless of what, normal society tries to tell us, you can achieve anything you want. As we all know, manifestation is perfect and endless. So that is the topic of today's video. Please do thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. If you'd like to stay, up to date with all my manifestation content, I'd really appreciate that. And obviously leave any comments for suggestions for videos, or just to ask me any questions. I love talking to you guys. And yeah, thank you so much for your feedback. And I also offer one-on-one coaching if you're new here. I am a coach, so you can get personalized help with me, one-on-one emails or Instagram DMs, and all the information on that is on my Instagram, LOA Coaching, linked in the description box. So take a look if you're interested, and let's get started. So first point I'm going to talk about is, it's going to come from more of a realistic perspective, more of like a big sister type of advice, I guess, or friend's advice. And it's not necessarily to do with the concept or practice of manifestation, but if after 5 to 10 years you've been actively trying to manifest or actively trying to change a situation, and it's been 5 to 10 years and you still have, I don't want to say you haven't manifested it because there is no time frame, but if we're being realistic, if you've been trying to get something for 5 to 10 years and it's just not worked at all, and let's say for a couple of those years you've been actively manifesting, first you need to reconsider your practices. What are your thoughts focusing on? What are your conscious manifestation practices? Because probably it lies in that. That is the reason why you don't have it. There is no outer force in our universe that is stopping you from getting your desire, except for your own thoughts. So that's the first hurdle. But if you have been, practicing or had a goal on your, bucket list or whatever it is, a life goal that you want, and if it's been 5 to 10 years of you trying to achieve it, perhaps it's a sign that you need to perhaps steer your attention elsewhere, because your skills, your true desire, the root of your desire lies in something else. You're not looking perhaps at the real thing that you want, the real goal. So your motivation maybe isn't there, which is why your thoughts aren't aligning. So yeah, realistically, I would start to question, what you're doing, why you want something, why you've spent so long trying to get something for 5 to 10, what was that? I had a little glitch there. 5 to 10 years and you still don't have it. You need to question what practices you're doing, and then ask yourself, do I really want to continue? Should I maybe go somewhere else? I've been consciously manifesting for 2-3 years for this one goal and it hasn't happened. Maybe you just don't want it bad enough. Maybe it's not right for you. Maybe your own mind knows that, and I would just realistically consider giving up on the manifestation after 5 to 10 years of trying to achieve it. That is not to say if you have, you want to be CEO of a company and you have just come out of uni. I don't mean in these scenarios. I don't mean where you're working towards it, it's happening naturally. I've had goals, for my life for, that are 10 years from now, or that I've been working on for 10 years, and it's been over time, gradual progress. I'm just saying that you should consider within a time frame of 5 to 10 or 10 plus years, you're not doing something the right way, you've not been focusing your thoughts where you're meant to. At that point, you can absolutely consider just giving up on it, starting afresh, looking elsewhere. So next point, although that first one might be a bit controversial, hopefully I've explained myself well enough. I'm not saying that you're not able to manifest it, or that because you haven't got it, you should give up because you'll never get it. You can absolutely get it the next day even. That is possible, but I'm just saying at that point, time to consider it. And next point for for when you could give up on a manifestation is if your own desires change. So it does link into my first point, because there's always a deeper mental reason why you don't have a manifestation. It all lies within your own thoughts, the way you're practicing your conscious manifestation practices. So if your own desires have changed, then absolutely give up on a manifestation. If you've decided that you're on a new career path, but it's not for you, you don't like the company, you don't like the industry, it's not where your passion lies, and you've just realized it, 1000% change your mind. Stop immediately. Stop affirming. No one's forcing you. You're not obligated to see a manifestation through. If you change your mind about a job, if you change your mind about your SP, you fall out of love with them and decide, actually, they have way too many qualities that I would need to change for them to be my perfect person. And someone else has asked me out on a date and they seem to match a lot of the qualities naturally. There are reasons why you might want to change, and that's okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you if you fall out of love with your SP, decide they're not worth it. That's your personal opinion. It's all subjective. You're allowed to change your mind about anything in your life. You don't have to see a manifestation through, be with a certain person, do a certain thing, look a certain way. If you've been manifesting weight loss, but you have been doing self-concept affirmations and you just start loving the way you look, stop your weight loss affirmations and be like, I love myself. This is my perfect body. It's done. Let's move on to the next thing. So obviously, if your desires change, you should absolutely give up on a certain manifestation. You don't have to see it through. And if you're worried about something happening, like, you've decided you don't want your SP, but you've been affirming for them to break up with a third party, you can just say, the third party and SP are living their perfect lives. I have a good relationship with SP, but now I'm, in a different perfect relationship. Whatever you want to affirm, whatever new story you want to create, you can start shifting it and say, actually, I'm only friends with SP and everything's perfect that way. Or whatever you want to do. You don't have to follow through with your manifestation. Next point is a bit more brief, but this is my personal, like I said, subjective. It's my personal subjective perspective on this. And that is if it's causing you or another person harm. Let's say if you're trying to manifest weight loss, but you're already, very skinny, very slim, it's, going beyond a certain point is going to put you in an unhealthy state. And yes, you can affirm, I'm always perfectly healthy, and your health will still be good when you're extremely skinny, but it's causing you harm. That's just one example. Like, you don't want to take anything too far. You just don't want to do anything that will cause you or any other person, harm in any way. I'm not talking about having the third party and SP break up. That sort of example is where it happens naturally for them. They decide on their own the reasons why they don't want to be with the third party. They break up in their own way. As long as you say, I'm the only woman or I'm the only man for SP, it will happen the way it happens, You're not forcing them to have a nasty breakup or anything. So that isn't causing somebody harm in my perspective. I know some people are a bit iffy about the whole free will thing and trying to get a relationship to end. But if you're not actively interfering with it, it will happen naturally the way it would have anyway if they were just going to break up on their own. So I'm talking more about, any form of harm that's specifically impacting you negatively, whether it's physical or emotional harm, or to any other person. At that point, I would shift my focus, maybe change the wording of your affirmations, shift your goals slightly so it's a positive outcome, because at that point, I would definitely recommend giving up on a manifestation that is just harmful, malicious. Like, I would never recommend something like that. So next point is a little bit more niche, but if you're trying to focus on something that's very, very specific, and it's a really detailed, specific, small goal, like you want your boss to tell you something specific, or you want to see an email pop up, or you want a work party to be changed to a different date, or you want your SP to buy you red roses, and you're really adamant that this is the experience you want. Sometimes we can be too stubborn and too focused on this experience that we think is going to be so life-changing or magical, or it's the only way for me to have this perfect life and perfect experience, perfect relationship. That's not true. You don't need that one specific goal for things to be great. There could be something even better that your SP or boss or whoever would do naturally. So you don't need to focus too much energy on those things. If you're getting stressed out, especially when it comes to manifesting by a certain time frame, manifesting on a time crunch, which I have a video on. If If you're too focused on that one date, that, you know, holiday party with SP that you want an invite to, the email from your boss, if you're too focused on this small event or experience, you could be spending too much energy on it and not looking at the real, you know, big picture of, I just want the relationship with SP to be perfect. That's usually the root of it. Or I want my boss to recognize my work and offer me a promotion. That's the end goal that you want. So don't get hung up on the details too much. Sometimes it's good to go a little bit more general. That way you're manifesting a wider range of things. Because if you're too focused on SP's taking me to the party on Friday, I'm going to see SP at the party on Friday. If you're so focused on this one event, yes, you'll see SP at the party. Most probably, if you persist, it will absolutely manifest by that time frame. It's very, very likely. Or, you know, SP will ask you out to go to the party with them, whatever your goal is. But you're not affirming for constant contact. You're not affirming that they're in love with you. You spent all your time focusing the past few weeks on this one event. So if that makes sense, you guys will see how it could potentially jeopardize the movement and speed of your manifestation, the quality of your manifestation, because you're not looking at the big picture. You're so focused on that one thing that you want, that you think is the answer. At that point, it could be time to give up on that small detail and be like, you know what? It's stressing me out. The time frame's getting super close. I still don't have it. You know, you get so focused and start overanalyzing or potentially feel anxious about it. It's not worth it. Just be like, well, I'll just affirm for a perfect relationship, which includes SP taking me to the party. You know, it will happen when it's meant to happen. Be more like, go with the flow and don't get, you know, stressed out over little details or certain times and dates that you think you should have something by. If you overanalyze that, get too focused, it's never going to affect you positively in a mental way. So at that point, my suggestion would be to give up on it and go back to your normal affirmations. That's what I would do. I've done that too, where I tried to manifest one small thing, one specific thing so much, and then I realized actually it's not really one of my life goals. It's not going to, you know, it's going to be a fun experience to manifest it, but it's not something I truly want. It's not something that's going to improve the quality of my life really. It's just going to be like a fun evening or fun letter or fun email, whatever. So I let it go and I go back to my normal affirmations and it feels 10 times better. So that's just my personal advice. Final point I want to discuss is if you're trying to manifest something simply because you think that you have to, or you're supposed to, or you feel like it's an expectation from you that's been placed on you, at that point you don't have to do it. Now, of course, this can get a little more subjective, and I'm not talking about, you know, certain events with your family, relationships with family members, that can get complex, I know that. So I'm not telling you, you know, if you're trying to manifest something that you think you have to do for your family to give up, it's up to you to decide if morally, mentally, emotionally, it's correct to give up on that manifestation. So it's up to you. It's always up to you to decide, and it's nobody else's decision. But my advice is if you're only doing something because you think, well, I should be doing this, this is what I have to do, this is what my parents expect, this is what SP would want from me, you know, if you're doing it for somebody else, probably not worth doing. I'd recommend giving up on it. There's no real passion there. There's no real desire behind it. So most likely you'll end up giving up on it or not manifesting it at all because you don't truly have the desire to get it. So yeah, if you feel like it's just an expectation placed on you or you don't really have a good reason for manifesting it, probably a good idea to just give up on it and find the thing that you truly do want. Find something similar that benefits you, that makes you feel excited and passionate. So yeah, those are some examples of times and experiences that you want to consider giving up and shifting your attention in a different direction. Please also remember that nothing is impossible. Nothing I've said in this video is about you not being able to manifest something or change a situation. You always have the ability to change a situation. It's only about giving up because it doesn't benefit you in any way. It's only causing you or somebody else harm. And it's just not a fun or beneficial or smart manifestation. Those are the only type of experiences where you should consider giving up, because it can still change, you can still manifest it, but if there's just no benefit or enjoyment in it, probably not at all worth doing. So those are my pieces of advice regarding giving up on a manifestation. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you next time.